I want to invite you to nourish yourself. Make it a priority to make sure that you're good. Don't lose yourself to what other people are doing, what your family thinks of you, what they expect of you, because what they're doing and you have to do that too. You've got to really work from your innate spirit of what is true for you. Welcome, everybody, to another episode on the Luke Mind Power Podcast. Blessing to be here. Super excited to spend some more time with you. I hope you're doing fantastic. And if you're not, remember that the purpose of this podcast is to help you to live your dreams, not your fears. It's going to help you to stay inspired and motivated every single day. But also, there's so many parts of life that are challenging, intricate parts that are very difficult to process or understand. And as I'm learning, as I'm growing myself, it's such a blessing to be able to use this technology as well. I'm so grateful for that, to be connected with all of you and to be sharing my journey and my lessons and everything that I'm experiencing in life and everything that I'm going through, because there are so many different variables, so many different challenges, so many different circumstances, so many different things that are happening all the time in life. And it's not always a one-way street. It's, there's lots of exits that you can take. It's not always just straight and narrow. It's bumpy sometimes. And sometimes you feel like you're going to hit a roadblock, and sometimes you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, and again, it's sometimes not easy. I'm sure I'm in your mind as well, where a lot of the times you may be listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast on Spotify or YouTube or Apple, or wherever you listen to this podcast. And you could easily be going, oh man, it's so easy for you to say, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And I get it. It's not that easy. It isn't. But I believe everything that comes into our life and everything that we experience is happening for a reason, just to teach us a lesson. And it's really up to us to learn the lessons. Otherwise, they keep happening. And if we don't, well, then we will be impacted in a negative way. And I guess I really want to invite you today during this podcast episode to have a little bit more of an open mind. Don't get lost in what society expects of you. What religion expects of you, all these laws or rules that people have set for you that you have to follow. I get it. There's a lot of great information in different types of faiths and in the expectation of society and, whatever they say you should do in life. But the truth is that your life is so unique. It's not meant to be. And I think I've definitely struggled with this as well, where you see other people, whether they're in relationships or having a family or married or divorced or jobs or successes or whatever it is, you look around and you just compare yourself, and if your life isn't working out like somebody else's is, or if someone else is making more money than you, or they're in a healthy relationship and you're not, whatever that may be, you've got to hold strong that confidence within yourself to be able to feel good about yourself and know your worth, so that when you do look around and there might be moments where you kind of are comparing yourself, you don't kind of lose yourself or try to become like anyone else. You kind of hold strong within yourself to know your worth and to know that it's fine. That's other people's lives. And a lot of the times, especially with social media and what people show you versus what they're actually feeling and living in their life is two different things. And so I want to invite you to nourish yourself. Make it a priority to make sure that you're good. Don't lose yourself to what other people are doing, what your family thinks of you, what they expect of you, because what they're doing and you have to do that too. You've got to really work from your innate spirit of what is true for you. And again, what is true for you now may not be true for you in 5 years' time, and that's why it's you got to live in the moment. You got to do what you think is right for you in this moment right now, and have an open mind and know that, let's just say, for example, you're married, 5 years later, you're not happy. What are you going to do? Work on it. Try and fix it. What if you can't fix it? What if it's really negative? What if it's draining? What if it's causing you depression? What if you're so unhappy? And deep down it's because of the relationship. That nothing's changing. That you're working on it and you're trying to fix it and nothing's budging. What are you going to do? Are you really going to sacrifice the rest of your life because, hey, till death do us part? And it can be in other circumstances or friendships or whatever that is for you in your life, And so what I'm saying is have an open mind. I said this to a friend the other day. I said, I really believe that people come into our lives. Some come for a week, some come for a day, some come for a month, some come for a couple of years. But every person that comes into our life comes to teach us a lesson. Whatever that lesson is, it's up to you to learn it. Don't confine yourself or restrict yourself to one opportunity. One opportunity to be in a relationship or to go down a specific path in life and it doesn't work out, fucking awesome. Good. Learn from that experience, grow from that experience. If there's any pain involved or some sort of uncomfortable experience that you've had to go through or endure because of that, fantastic. Pain is your driver. Pain is the power. Pain is where you actually are able to be motivated because of that uncomfortable feeling. It's not supposed to bring you down into depression. When you feel confident in yourself, when you know your worth, when you're good, you're always going to have your own back. You're always going to be grounded. Even when people reject you because you're not chasing, you're not forcing. Your responsibility is to nurture the relationship with yourself and be good with you, no matter the circumstances. And I think that's where we lose ourselves. That's the challenge, because we get attached to this notion of, family, connections, relationships that we've known for many, many years. And I mean, I had to do this in 2018 when I had to grow. It was time for me to grow. And a lot of the friends that I was surrounding myself with, they were not bad people, but they definitely weren't going in the direction of where I was going. And I knew that I needed space also. I needed solitude. I needed to disconnect from that life to reconnect with my life, because I wasn't connected with myself. I didn't have that strong connection, love for myself, respect for myself. I had never really ventured out on my own and got out of my comfort zone and traveled and worked on my personal growth and built better communication skills and faced some of my fears and done things that was just out of the ordinary. I normally wouldn't do that. All I was doing was partying and drinking and working week to week. Letting go of some of these relationships, or just letting go of things that have expired in your life, or things that have just gotten to a point where you're just like, you know what, it's time for me to do what's right for me. And that's what I want to invite you to continue to practice in life. Continue to practice doing what's right for you. Continue to practice having that confidence in yourself, knowing your worth, loving yourself, respecting yourself, and pay attention to the actions that people show you rather than their words. People will show you how they respect you and how they treat you by their actions, not by their words. You'll be able to see if someone respects and appreciates you. And that's definitely, a lot of us are convinced when someone apologizes to us or someone says something to us that, gives us some sort of closure or some sort of, more awareness or information about whatever that is that you're confused about. And then we believe them. Or maybe it's an apology. And every time we hear the word sorry or whatever, we're like, oh, okay, they apologize. But the only real apology is changed behavior. It's the action that speaks louder than the words. And so we have to be so strong. You have to be so strong that you're good on your own. When you fall into being needy, that's where people take advantage of you. That's where you lose yourself, because we're seeking people's approval. We're seeking other people's validation. We're seeking, and again, where does it all come from? And I'm aware, it's becoming so evident now, doing this work, that a lot of us are still hurt children. A lot of us just haven't done the work. We haven't done the work to help us to heal our childhood, to overcome our trauma or pain or some sort of really bad experience that has hurt us as children. That's the most clearest truth. If you haven't done work on your personal growth and you haven't worked on your childhood and understanding how you were raised and what you went through, and how that could possibly be affecting the relationships that you're in and the relationships in your family and the relationship with yourself, man, this is the biggest call to action you'll ever hear in your life, is to work on that. If you're a male, like especially like I work with so many women, but I'd love to invite more men to come on board and go, guys, man, like, we have a small community of kings in my group coaching program, but like if you're listening to this and you haven't worked on your childhood, you haven't worked on that version of you when you between like from being a kid to fucking like 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, man, you're missing out. you know there's a lot of like insecurity and pain and ego and the lack of love for yourself and just awareness of how it's actually affecting your relationships and how it's affecting your success and how it's affecting how you show up. It's how it's affecting how much you believe in yourself, how much it's affecting what you feel you deserve in your life. And that affects the whole reality. That affects everything in your life. If you haven't worked on that, man, and it was the key, man, like reparenting myself and working on my childhood and learning to reconnect with the younger version of myself and appreciate that version of me, changed my life, man. And this codependency that I used to have as well, I had to work through that. And really it is the gateway to freedom, when you actually go back there. And I know that this is the part of the process that becomes very uncomfortable because men don't like to be in their feelings, and I can appreciate that, but it's liberating. And I know that we're supposed to be alpha males, or we're supposed to be in our masculine, we're supposed to be strong, don't talk about your feelings and all this kind of shit. But I believe that there's a give and take, and there is an opportunity to heal. There's an opportunity to grow more, be a little bit more vulnerable, and to open your heart, because the more you open, the more you expose, the more you liberate yourself. There is a sense of freedom in expression instead of suppressing all of the stuff that we've been holding on to for years that we haven't released. And that's where your peace is. I always say that your peace is your power, and if you do not release, right, that's why I say everything that you reveal, so it being some sort of pain or insecurity about yourself you've never told anyone about, or some sort of abuse or some sort of negative experiences that you've been through, maybe in a toxic relationship or as a teenager or as a child, and you've been carrying that with you for many, many years. I mean, that's suppressed energy. So where is the opportunity? Well, the opportunity is in expressing, communication, revealing. Like everything that you reveal, you heal. But then obviously, you need a healthy environment. You need to feel heard and loved and supported and respected and appreciated to be able to feel safe enough to expose that, and that's a process that I help people with. Without that, you carry it around, man. You keep carrying it around. And then that becomes the reason why we continue to suppress or numb it with drugs and alcohol or different other acts, whatever it is, that is your form of escapism. Because let's escape the emotions. Let's escape the bad feelings. Let's escape the memories, because the memories will still keep, replaying in our minds over all these years. And that is the stressful part about it. That's the challenge, because if we don't, then we keep thinking about it. And what you keep thinking about is like rumination. And it's I talk about you become what you think about, right? And if you change your thoughts, how can you change your thoughts if you keep thinking about the past? And so many of us want to create a new future. We want to create a new life. We want to focus on the future. We want to move forward. We want to have that peace of mind. But how can we have peace of mind when we haven't found peace in our mind or in our souls or in our hearts or in our bodies, because we haven't done the work, because we haven't brought light to it, because we haven't brought love to it? That is one of the major keys to your healing, is to love yourself so much that you will address what you went through. You will address your insecurities. You will address your own fears and limiting beliefs and your pain and whatever those experiences were that you experienced when you were younger. If you don't love yourself enough, well, then why would you do it? It's like loving anything else. When you love someone, you're willing to go above and beyond for them. You're willing to do everything. You're willing to do whatever you can to make them happy. If you have a child, what do you want to do? You want to love the shit out of them. Much like yourself, because you'll do anything to make them happy. But if you don't love yourself enough, well, how can you expect yourself to actually want to go deeper into those emotions or into that stress or into that negative experience when you were younger to actually heal it, reveal it, and let it go? Process it. Which is then what creates the peace of mind, because once you know that you've been able to be heard, understood, loved, supported, and you've revealed, man, you become so strong, so peaceful, so powerful. And then, as Brené Brown says, own your story. That's one of your missions, guys. Your mission is to own your story, not let your story own you. So many of us, our story is owning us. The story of the past, the experiences that we went through are limiting our success, limiting the way that we could think or what we could achieve, but we haven't, because we're still being held back because of that suppressed energy, because of that negative energy, because of that limiting belief. And so this is why it's so powerful to be able to own the story. I say that you can change your past because you can change the meaning of the past. You can change how you see that experience. It's not about changing specifically the actual experience of what happened, but the meaning of it. And I know that some of these experiences can be really, really bad and traumatic. And it's like, well, what kind of meaning could you give to someone that did something really bad to me, for example? Well, what about if you overcame that pain or trauma and then you were able to actually help others overcome their pain and trauma as well? Would there be a meaning that you would say, wow, I don't know how, I couldn't comprehend it, but somehow God or the universe or whatever your faith is gifted me this experience that really fucked me up. It hurt me. But slowly, I grew in confidence and I took action. I invested in myself. I overcame my challenges and I overcame my trauma. And now I'm able to help others do the same. Isn't that a gift? That now you have the power, you've gone through the process, that you can actually put your hand out to people and say, hey, I see you. I feel your pain. I know what it feels like. I've been there. Just the difference is I didn't give up. I decided to fight back. I decided to be the one that owns the story rather than be the story owning me and me being defined by that particular experience or experiences in the past that have been holding me back all my freaking life. So in finding the meaning won't be revealed until you actually bring light to your circumstances that have been holding you back in your life. The meaning won't be revealed till you leave that toxic relationship or workspace that you've been succumbing to or just settling in. You won't understand why you went through it or why you're there until you actually get the courage or the balls to go, I'm done with this. I'm moving forward in my life. And I don't know why I've had to be through this experience or what this is going to teach me or whatever it is, but I'm ready to move forward. And as you start to do that and you start to move forward, you will start to see that the message will be revealed. Now it's making sense. Now I get why I had to go through that experience. Now I understand why I had to meet that person. And that's why I say everything happens for a reason, even the bad stuff. Because how can you leverage off something that's happened so negatively to you? It's not about saying, well, then that's good. I overcame my challenges and I can now help other people. And so they should go through what I went through. No, it's not like that, man. We don't ask to be abused. We don't ask to be taken advantage of. We don't ask to be manipulated. But life is a brutal place to be. It's full of ups and downs. It's full of challenges. It's full of hurdles. It's full of brick walls. It's a labyrinth, man. You're going to turn right, turn left, and have to turn around sometimes and try to figure it out. Which way is next? I hit a roadblock. Somehow I'm not going in the right direction, or somehow I'm not moving. I'm stuck. How did I get here? You're the one that has to decide that. And some of these journeys for you guys and for myself as well is years in the making. It might not be another year or two before you set yourself free. You might have to figure out a plan or a goal or whatever that is for you that will take you another 12 months or 24 months before you can actually move. But if you don't start now, in 24 months, you'll still be in the same place, and that's going to be a shit place to be. So don't sit here and go, oh, it's going to take too long for me to save this money. It's going to take too long for me to make these changes. It's going to take too long. It's going to be too hard. I've got 2 kids or whatever that is. But it's going to be even harder if you don't do shit. Like, another reminder is that the process of change, success, the next level, becoming a better version of yourself, attracting a better relationship, getting a better job, all that kind of shit, it takes time. Allow yourself to sit with that truth, that great things take time. Greatness takes time. That next level of life, it takes time. Like, just accept that. As uncomfortable as it is right now, but don't accept not making any sort of changes or creating a plan or a goal or having something that you're working towards, so that in 12 months, 24 months time, you're actually able to execute and actually make those changes for yourself. But don't sit here and think that it's going to change in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks. Allow yourself to accept that it's going to take months. Just like building a house. It doesn't get built overnight. There's a process to it. It's this and this and this and the bricks and foundation and all this stuff, the frame, blah, 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 blah. Now do the fucking bathroom. You know, and it's like, oh, hurry up, when's it going to be finished? Well, we just did the foundation, still got to put the frame up, got to fucking get this, got to get the concrete truck, got to do this, got to do that. You know, much like the same shit in your life, man. You know, quit complaining and start like understanding how life works. You know, it works if you work, and it works over time, and you can achieve whatever you want if you're willing to persevere, if you're willing to set your goals, if you're willing to focus on what you want, if you're willing to stay consistent, if you're willing to sacrifice, if you're willing to really put yourself first, if you're really willing to go against what your family thinks and your friends and the people that you love, and not let other people's opinions to fucking control you. You can achieve whatever you want in your life if you really put your mind to it, if you want it enough. But we do, man. We really do. You know, we get stuck in the expectations of family and friends and shit. And it's just like, who's living your life, man? There is a sense of freedom when you're in control and you're not relying on anyone else, man. I think that's probably one of the best things that you can ever achieve. You know, if you can be independent and have your own back and not have to be there like relying on someone, I think, you know, it's a blessing to be in a relationship, for example, where someone does have your back, and you know, again, it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're looking after the kids, for example, and the partner is looking after the finance side of the relationship, you know, it's an exchange. Everything is an exchange. You know what I mean? It's tick for tat. Like, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You do this, I do that. You know, in terms of like the relationship with yourself, I still see that, you know, your independence and your freedom also is something that is your responsibility, you know, and it's a good feeling. It is, you know, I didn't have it for many, many years. I was in debt for years, man. Fucking since I was a teenager, I was in debt. My first car that I bought, I was in debt $5,000. I went to the bank and got a loan. So I know debt, and I've been there, and I've had debt for fucking over 10 years. Constantly every week, pay the money, get paid, pay the loan. And, you know, I used to gamble a lot as well, you know, but to be financially free and to actually like be in a position where I'm good, you know, and I can just travel and I can do whatever I want and I'm not tied down to anything and I'm independent. It's a pretty liberating feeling, and it's worth fighting for. But it's a journey. Like if you would have said, oh, this is, you know, how it works and this is what's going to happen, you know, 25, I'm 39, in 15 years, this is what you're going to achieve. I mean, it's too even long to think about that, but this is how it works. You know, you've got to go through these experiences, these journeys, and hence why we need to use these tools. How do we inspire each other? How do we stay focused? How do we, you know, and again, it is your environment. It's in your routine. Everything, every single day, it's in your routine. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? What are you working on? What are your goals? What are your plans? Where are you going? What are you investing in? Are you working on your personal development? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you journaling? Are you writing gratitude? Are you going for a run? Are you going for a walk? What's your environment like? Who are the people that you're surrounded by? You know, do you go to events? Do you go to the gym? You know, do you go to like Pilates or some sort of aerobics classes, or like, what are you doing? Like, where do you shop? Where do you live? Like, what's your environment like? All this shit matters, man. It matters. How much time are you spending watching TV, wasting time? How much time do you spend watching the news, wasting time, being programmed in a negative way? You know, like, how much time do you spend talking to yourself in a really positive way? How much time do you spend looking at yourself in the mirror? Like, all of this matters. It matters so much. And all of it is an accumulation of how you become successful, you know? And it's taken me all this time to figure it out. That's why I'm very selective of who I surround myself with. I'm not available all the time, you know? And it's, that's why I'm saying, like, you don't need to force people to like you. You just need to like yourself. Everybody else liking me is a bonus. You know, I love me first, and I respect the people that respect me, you know? And again, every relationship is an exchange, you know? It's not an exchange of like, oh, you know, if I do this for you, you have to do that for me. No, it's something that you learn about how people actually appreciate you, how you show up, what you give, your actions. And then you watch. And so I'm really like particular, and you could say I'm anal about it, but I'm not. It's just my self-awareness. Like, I'm so self-aware of what I give and what I receive. What I give to someone, my time, my gifts, whatever it is, and then what I receive in return. And so if there's a mismatch, or if something's not right, or if something is not equal, I'll feel it. I'll pick up on it, you know? And that's why I say, and that's why I know you guys know this stuff. When something feels off, it's off. When something doesn't feel right, that means it's not right. You're not feeling that for no reason. But so many of us don't have the confidence in ourselves because we want people's approval. We want to fit in. We don't want to disturb the peace. And so we don't say anything, or we don't sever a relationship, for example, because we don't want to lose that person or whatever it is. You know? And again, when you know your value, you know your worth, you will not sacrifice your truth and authenticity to keep the peace. And that's part of the process, because I can't live a lie, and you can't live a lie. And if you want to live a lie, you will be going against your intuition. You will be going against your flow of life. You'll be going against your soul that knows which direction, and it knows what it needs to be connected and close to. And this is part of self-confidence as well. You have the confidence in yourself to execute on anything that feels off. So many of us go through experiences, something doesn't feel right, but we don't address it. We just go, oh, we give it a reason. You know, it's almost like we play it down, or we don't think we're smart enough. And it's like, you are very smart. You actually know yourself, and you're in your own body, and you know how you feel. And I invite you to just respect yourself a little bit more, to tune into your feelings, to tune into what's right for you, right? Because you know you the best. And so many of us are not giving ourselves enough credit in appreciating that we understand ourselves. We do. No one outside of yourself knows you better than you know you. But yet we allow other people's opinions to actually come in and infiltrate us, our minds, and how we think and see ourselves, which is bullshit, absolute bullshit. So this is a huge opportunity for you to really take a good, hard look at yourself. Take a good, hard look at yourself, go in the mirror and just go, man, do I really know myself, or have I lost myself? And the beautiful part about it, guys, is that if you have lost yourself, it's amazing. You know, if you're not the best version of yourself, or maybe you're not the best, but you're just not happy or content in your life, amazing. If shit is going downhill in your life, amazing. Yes. Fucking come on. Come on. You know, like, and you're like, what are you talking about, Luke? And I'm like, yes. You know, Shit needs to go bad before it's going to get fucking good, right? This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm depressed. I got panic attacks. I'm in a toxic relationship. How is it okay? How can you say that life is so good and amazing when I'm being fucking abused and all this kind of shit? Because sometimes you need to fucking wake up to your greatness and go through shit experiences, ladies and gentlemen, so you can snap the fuck out of it. Because otherwise you won't. You'll fucking stay there like a fucking tree. You'll stay there like a tree and you won't fucking move, and you'll stay there and stay there and stay there and nothing will fucking change in your life. It'll keep raining and thunderstorming and you'll be like, why isn't it sunny anymore? It's because you don't fucking move. You just keep staying there, disrespecting yourself. When you start to love yourself more, there is no need for approval. There is no need to be loved by others. And the truth is, when you do love yourself and you just know your fucking worth, you're able to pour and give from such a powerful place. It's extraordinary. I was in Germany the other week and I was sitting with my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephew, and we were having dinner in this tapas restaurant in Dusseldorf in Germany. And I ordered, what did we have? Got some salt and pepper squid and some lamb. What was it? Lamb? Was it? They're not lamb steak. They're lamb chops or something like that. And some salad, and it was just, and some prawns, garlic prawns and stuff. And then I ordered a beer, and my sister had some wine, and I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'm so connected within myself. Like when I'm sitting there and I'm in the presence of my family and people that I love and respect, I have this just full, open, like I feel so much love, like I'm sitting there in that moment and I'm just like so happy. Like for me, that's everything. And I'm just like in a different element. And sometimes I can't even put it to words how happy I feel when I'm sitting with people that I respect and love and that I know have my back as well. And to be able to do that's life. For me, that's everything, and I feel it, it's such an amazing feeling. It's so good, eh? Fucking hell, I just had to share it with you. Because it's so beautiful, man. It's just that's life, I love it. Anyway, I don't know where that story was going, but I just wanted to share with you because I just have so much love within myself, and I just, when I'm in the right environment with the right people, I'm able to give that love. I'm able to give that appreciation. I'm able to and I remember actually talking to my sister, and I said to her, hey, this is pretty amazing. Like in the present moment right now, I said, I was in Poland. I came to see you. You're here in Germany. And we're here together now. Wow. Like this is amazing. And as normal, time flies, and all of a sudden, she's going back to Australia and I'm going back to Poland. And then, a few days later, it's already passed. And it's like, did it even happen? Yeah. Bang. And these are the moments of life that we live. And the choices that we choose to make and the experiences that we can have in our life are up to us, But definitely, I wouldn't have been able to make these decisions had I not stepped out of my comfort zone to build my business and to be a life coach and to overcome my own fears and insecurities, travel, man, I would still be working in the government. I don't know if I would have lasted there. I probably would have lost my job, man. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, I can do so much more now because I trusted the process and I continued to show up and I believed in myself and I invested in myself, And so now the life that I live, the lifestyle that I live is definitely not normal. But again, it's an accumulation of choices. I chose to overcome my insecurities and believe in myself and put myself first and stand up for myself. And I won't settle for any less than what I fucking know I deserve. And so that is a part of being good. This episode is dedicated to you being good with you. Be good with yourself, because you don't need to chase, you don't need anyone's approval. As long as you're good with you, it's an internal structure, right? Of you feeling good within yourself, because you don't need something outside of yourself to make you feel enough. Do the work. It'll change your freaking life. Because once you're good with you, you're good with everything. It's amazing. Guys, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. If you haven't hit that subscribe button on YouTube, then hit the red button, subscribe, like it, leave a comment. I love reading all the comments on YouTube. And if you are watching on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, don't forget to share this as well. And if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify as well, leave us a 5-star rating and a review. I really appreciate the love as well. It goes a long way and lets more people know about how amazing this podcast is. I got your back. I'll see you on the next episode. Don't give up on yourself. And remember that everything you want is on the other side of action. And the treasure you seek is hidden in the work that you're avoiding. I'll see you next time.